Alrighty. Welcome to a quarterfinal in the Virgo Cup between AAOE and MP-1. Alright. This is a Category B matchup, so it's right around the average team game Elo when the seeding for this tournament happened. So there you have it. Let's introduce our players. I'm hovering over Red. I already clicked the TC, so I'm gonna introduce Red first. There's no bias here. No. In the red, we have Luxor playing as the Saracens. Alright, that makes sense. In the yellow, we have Mariart playing as the Sicilians. Okay, Sicilians for Arabia. That's fine. And then in the purple, we have Kermia playing as the Byzantines for Arabia as well. Okay, there you go. I thought Byzantines would be for Heartland, the map, which is actually the home map for AAOE, but I guess they decided to go for their other water civs. That's totally fine. In the blue, we have Patrick playing as the Chinese. Alright, see, this is what we thought. Chinese being the best for this map, given the other civilizations and maps in the map pool. In the green, we have Kalege from Boedo playing as the Persians. Alright, Persians for Arabia is totally fine. And then in the teal, we have Lauchap playing as the Ethiopians. Alright, Ethiopians, one of the best flank civs in Arabia, simply for the reason that they get awesome archers. And is Teal gonna lame? Yeah, there you go. I knew it. But Red can see that. His scout was in position. He did see that scout from Teal earlier, so he is aware of this. So let's see. Let's see if Red can stop this. Now, the important thing is that Teal stays inside their line of sight here. Now you can actually keep running, right? You can actually keep running now. Yeah, just keep running. The boar will actually follow you. Now, it will follow you because it's inside the line of sight of all these deer. The bear has a lot of line of sight as well. As long as it's inside one of this, the boar will keep following you. Now, of course, if you leave it, now it's not going to follow you anymore. There you go. And unfortunately, the lame was stopped by Red, so Teal will not get that. Benefit. Of course, Red bringing in the other boar, so his boar timing will not be off here. So I guess Red will be okay with that. There you go. Nice attempt there, but unfortunately, no gain. It's a high risk, high reward strategy after all. Alright. As purple bringing in a second boar, so just so that blue can't get it. Blue is sitting here, but he's not really scouting around just yet. He just found purple, so there you have it. I guess in the meantime, we can talk about... Let's talk about maps first. You know, we don't talk about resources all that often anymore because I keep bantering about civilization matchups, which is very interesting as well. But what about the base layout for every player here? As purple is pushing in his deer. Now we have a back main gold for purple. It's on an awkward hill, so you do want to make sure that your opponent cannot sit archers on top of this, because that will be very annoying to push away, right? You know, that's what I always say. It's because it's just true. It's very annoying. I think if you wall off right there, that's going to stop from happening. That also means that you have this gold safe, which means that purple has a nice defensive position. You can wall around your berries as well, which are forward, which is okay. For the rest, it's quite the wall off, but I think if you build some archer ranges and a barracks right there, that makes up most of your wall already. Blue, on the other hand, has an awful base. An awful gold at the very least. You know, his berries are in the back, but kind of in a ring of hills. What is this, New Arabia? Jeez. Ay. Now, you can wall this off, although your stone will be outside of your walls, but the front of Blue's base is going to be super awkward. I mean, well, how do you wall this, right? You can wall to the edge of the map, but that's a lot of walling, or you can wall to its wood line, which is also a lot of walling. If you're going to wall this, though, make sure to wall on top of the hill to make sure that your opponents don't can't take that hill from you and can't do any area, extra hill bonus to your walls or to you from behind your walls. Actually, better would be to wall kind of in front of that hill so you can stand on it instead defending your walls. It's almost like those medieval people that built castles and fortifications like that knew what they were doing, huh? Alright, in the red we have berries forward, that's okay, but we do have an easy wall off between these two wood lines, that's fine. But we do have an awkward gold in the back of our base. It's on this large hill, which again is a nice place for Teal to be maneuvering his Ethiopian archers on. Speaking of Teal, Teal's gold is forward as well, but it is behind a wood line. So if you wall this a little bit, it will be shielded at least from some enemy aggression. But I always say, any gold, regardless of where it is, will only be a few seconds more walking away. Depends on where you are. So Yeah, as Blue is trying to deny the barracks for the time being. Now, this villager does have Loom, so Blue can't kill it, but he can sure distract the villager long enough to make the timing for Purple be all off and stuff like that. Doesn't look like anyone is going to go for men-at-arms except for Teal. Alright, and Red scouted that, didn't he? Yes, Red scouted that. Nice scouting there for Red to hang around the Ethiopian base, because you should always be expecting something like that from the Ethiopians. They get 100 gold and 100 gold. Let's say gold, 100 food at the start of the game, and therefore they can afford this men-at-arm upgrade basically without spending any resources that they had to gather. Alright. Well, Red, of course, is aware of this, but he can't stop it from going forward, that's for sure. The wall is also not up, so this man-at-arms will most certainly get in. In the meantime, we have Green trying to get a snipe with his Persian cavalry. Could have killed a villager there. Yeah, but not when there's this many villagers around, because they will just work together. Those pesky peasants. Peasants working together against those brave riders. What an upset of the medieval hierarchy. Yeah, Steel's just trying to stop the wall from happening. He's just trying to keep this open, right? As we had a little pause. Trying to keep this open so the men-at-arms can get in. As Red is force dropping. Force dropping his archer range right now, because he does not want to take any damage and wants to be able to defend himself against the archers. As Steel runs right into the TC. Ooh, close. Very close indeed. Alright, this is an awkward wall for purple, for Red, because of all those hills. Makes it really difficult to see if there's a hole or not. But it looks like Red did get those walls up. So I guess he will be fine for the time being. Of course, Saracens versus Ethiopians. Again, Saracens will be on the back foot there, because Ethiopians simply have the better archers. There's no doubt about it. The Saracens get that extra bonus versus buildings. That's nice, but it doesn't help you in 1v1 fights against Ethiopian archers, which fire faster. 18% faster, I think that's the number. So that's just something you can't really get around. As I think Teal's also doing hill damage on this palisade wall, so that's awkward to repair for Red, idling a bit of his economy as he gets his archers out. You know, just buying himself some time. As Red hopefully doesn't overchop this berry bush, because otherwise Teal can still get in and get damage here. Watch out. Okay, Teal's gonna move away. Alright. Green attacking now with his Persian scouts. Persians, of course, have the better boom over Sicilians. Sicilians get extra food on their farms. For a farm upgrade, I mean. That's nice. But that is not really an eco bonus that speeds up your economy, right? It helps you in the long run. But if the game doesn't go on for very long, then, of course, that doesn't really help you. Whereas the Persian faster working TC most certainly helps them the moment they reach feudalate. The archers for Red will push this army away. I don't think the men-at-arms did a whole lot of damage, but it did force Red into a very awkward wall. Do you see that? That wall is now going to go to the gold as well, which means that gold is very exposed for the rest of this game, unless Red is going to wall around it. So that, that did have some effect then. It's 5 scouts right now for the Persian player, 5 for the Sicilian player. Now remember, Sicilian scouts do not die to spearmen as much as normal scouts do, because Sicilians negate 50% of the bonus damage that counter units do to, say, scouts. That doesn't help them in scout v scout fights though, but that spearman from purple will destroy green, whereas the spearman from blue will not necessarily destroy the Sicilian player. In the meantime, yeah, see, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. The gold is very exposed right now, but the archers are here in sufficient force to kill these men-at-arms. And Teal at this point is just going to try to distract a little bit, which he did, to buy his army some time to maybe get out of here and regroup somewhere else. In the meantime, we have a fight now. Yellow is sending in some of his scouts, but the scouts kind of going to go down without any support from the archer player here. Again, the gold from purple is very awkward. He hasn't walled this left side. I can't believe that he didn't wall that. Did he not scout that? Oh, he didn't scout the wood line. He doesn't know how easy that wall off is. No wonder he didn't do that. As now purple is forced to fight against these scouts which have, well, had archer support. Yellow managing to kill most of Blue's archers, so at the end of the day, Blue is going to have to bring in the reinforcements to really finish this battle. The spearman goes down, so Green can engage once more, as the scouts for Yellow slowly go down here. At the end of the day, it's fairly even trade, except that Blue still has archers here, and Purple does not. Purple now is going to go drop a tower here, a panic tower indeed, but will that even go up? I'm not so sure about that one. Purple will take losses here. He will take losses here, as Blue snipes archer, snipes spearman, snipes villager. Tower is at how much percent? Only 50. That is not going to go up. That is a doubt tower. Unless Purple can get enough military out to distract Blue's forces for too long. Looks like he is trying to do that. Yellow's here as well. They may, with that, manage to get the tower up, because Blue simply cannot attack all of this at the same time. It's gonna be close, so 95%, 96, 97, tower will go up, and now blue will have to, or at least green will have to abandon the area. Although blue will just sit there in the minimum range and just be annoying for a little bit longer. Purple took some damage there. Yeah, this was a really good raid, as green is still killing villagers, still killing villas. How many villas, you ask? It's 8 villagers down for purple at the moment. Ay, ay, ay. Blue killed 7, and green killed 2. So now we're at 10 villagers already. Holy Christ. That is a lot of villagers, and blue is still here with archers, but should be careful not to run into the tower fire, of course. The damage has been done. Alright, let's have a look on the other side. Of course, when there's a 2v2 on the one side, it means there is a 1v1 on the other side. Like I said, Ethiopians versus Saracens. Saracens will not easily win that in a 1v1 battle. Your micro is going to have to be superb in order to deal with the Ethiopian archers. But it very well may be. So, again, everything is possible. Alright, 6 scouts still for green, 5 for yellow. Green is looking to click up here, whereas yellow is producing more and more. He's getting upgrades as well. As you can see, the armor upgrade is coming in for yellow. That means that they still want to take a good decisive fight and clean up blue's little army here. Blue has 15 archers, purple only 2. So yeah, purple is far behind. Yellow needs to keep producing here, because if he doesn't, purple will die to this. Right, purple will die to this. For sure. Yeah, this is a dangerous situation to be in. At the same time, because blue realizes that purple is no threat to him, he's going to send one of his archers, one of his archer groups to the north to deal with yellow, as yellow is building stables already. What are we going to do? Full feudal age production. Well, those stables will not go up for now, as yellow loses a villager, and blue is going to be very annoying here. Remember, these scouts have upgrades. Green is on the way to the next age, so he's not going to get his upgrades just yet until he can afford them. So for the time being, yellow could actually maybe take a good fight here. The problem is, yellow is also going to be distracted at home. In the meantime, the Ethiopian player, the Saracen player, duking it out inside the Ethiopian base, as the Saracen player is actually winning this fight. Yeah, I mean, Ethiopian micro doesn't really matter if you're this close together. And Saracen player with the bigger ball of archers manages to clean up Teal's army. Teal now forced to drop a tower on his wood line to keep this army out, and the gold is forfeit. Does Teal have any other gold? Yes, he does, outside of his base. Blue now hitting the wood line. There was a hole in the wood line for yellow. Unfortunately, yellow will take some losses here again, as the green and combined green and blue force also makes its way to yellow's base. Yellow trying to get up to the next stage now. Didn't really commit to all those upgrades, so unfortunately, because he committed to one upgrade, he's going to set back his castle each time significantly. He was already behind, but now he's going to be even further behind, which means that knights will be coming out now for the Persian player, who will also drop multiple TCs, I'm sure. Now, how the fortunate thing here is that those first knights will undoubtedly go here, right? Red realizes this as well, knows, okay, if I stick around here, knights will come and clean up my army, so I should probably just head out here. I did my damage, right? I did damage, I killed a villager, it's fine, we're just going to go home and preserve our forces, because indeed, look where the knights are going, they are going to go to Teal immediately, because Teal needed to help. Whereas blue is completely fine. Blue also got that wall up in front of his gold. It's not fully walled off yet, but at least the gold is behind that wall now, meaning that blue's position will be a lot better. Blue also sending some archers to the other side now. Might hit either red or yellow in the back. There's certainly some places you can hit over here. We will see what he decides. Looks like he's going to hit yellow. Ooh, crossbow. The timing is immaculate. As, ooh, we're going to go to red instead. Alright. You know, it's funny, I always end up saying bread because I want to say blue, but then I correct myself, but the B still comes out, so it's bread. Yep. Unfortunately for red, his gold is just as unsafe as it was before. Those crossbows will show up to that gold now, and they can kill a bunch of villagers for sure. Yeah, one villager down. Red is reacting to it, has way more units, but the knights are here. Those knights do have +2. They can certainly fight against an army that can only do 1 damage to him. Blue also making use of the fact he has more range than the Saracen player right now. This is a very awkward situation for Red to be in. He is the top scorer of his team, but he needs to keep his army alive and his base alive if he wants to have a chance of pushing out. Oh, a reversal on this side. Yep. Can't get too complacent now, can we? The Chinese player did not fully wall his base, as a result, taking some losses there from a scout raid from the Sicilian player. And you can't even fight those with spearmen, because if you do that, they will probably just kill the spearmen. I mean, you could probably have to fight it with spearmen and crossbows, you know, but I'm just saying, it just takes longer to kill a Sicilian scout. Not like it's impossible, which it's not. Of course, blue had an army at home to defend himself, so he should be okay against this raid. Teal almost in the castle age as well. Red just made it to castle age. He's going to get his upgrades. Once he has those crossbows, he can defend himself against this little raid in the north as well. But it's a precarious situation, to say the least, especially with knights massing around green's base. It's 11 knights for green, 6 knights only for yellow, as he was later to castle age. He can only start producing these knights in the castle age after all. Persian player has gone to a second town center as the Sicilian player adds a second one of his own, which means that the Persian player is far ahead in the vil count. Look at that, 60 vils for green, only 34 for yellow. Yellow's far behind. Alright, green just breaking into the back of red's base, distracting red's army. Now you can hit the front if you want as well. If blue's army was right here hitting the gold, that would have been nicely coordinated. Instead, blue's army is moving to the back wood line for yellow. There's no hole here, so you can't break through, but he can certainly snipe some vils if yellow is distracted by the fights in the front. Let's have a look. 1 village down. Remember, blue does have ballistics. 2 villagers down and 3 villagers down. Nice. 1 more shot and he can maybe get that villager. No. Ooh, that villager gets out of there just in time. Another town center up for, will be up for yellow. Luckily, he builds those fast because you are Sicilians after all. Teal, in the meantime, breaking into red's base. He is holding an awkward hill. Red could take a hill of his own. He is still controlling a hill next to his wood line, but it makes it hard to strike out against the attackers from that position. Green still spamming more knights, remember, from 2 stables, because he can actually afford to make this many knights with 68 villagers. The Persian boom never lets up. A 3rd town center now will go up, increasing that lead that green has over yellow even further. Yeah. Look at the ILTC time as well for yellow. Yellow wanted to get some more units out. I think if you're going to do that, you're just going to have to go all in. I mean, you are on 3 stables. You can't produce from all 3 of them if you're also going to make villagers. So yellow had to ILTC a lot in order to get the production up. And even so, he is still behind 12 to 20. As green sends in his knights in red space, they recognize that purple is not the biggest threat at the moment. Purple is mostly making skirmishes at the moment as well, as the wood line for red is about to get hit here. And purple needs the help after getting a conversion actually on one of red's knights. Wow, that doesn't happen a whole lot actually. Most flank players forget to drop monasteries and get monks out, but red remembered that that's a possibility. Unfortunately, with this many knights here, 1 conversion is not going to swing that tide in your favor. However, yellow coming here with an equal number of knights. Now that may do the trick. Yellow also trying to hit Teal's crossbows as much as he can, but Teal takes a hill. A nice hill for Teal to control and help green clean up these knights. Looks like yellow's knights will go down here, and now the few knights from green can still tank some shots, which is what green is doing. He's just trying to dodge this. Red does have ballistics though, and now also thumb ring. And I think he may actually still. I'm not sure if the Ethiopian player got thumb ring. I don't think so. No, I don't. No, actually he did. No, he did. Wait, did he? I'm not so sure actually. Because he already got that -3, but so does red. But that shouldn't be the case because the Ethiopian player should have more of a reduction. But yeah, doesn't matter. Anyways, these Ethiopian crossbows have gone down. But I think the damage has been done as red lost 25 villagers. 25 villagers. Mostly to blue and green, actually. Jeez, the raids. Oh, of course, because blue is still is sitting in the back of red space. Killed a lot of villagers right there. How many kills did these crossbows get? Yeah, look at that. 21. Never let it be told to you that an army of 5 crossbows can't do damage. The proof is right there. While we were distracted, just like red was distracted with yellow, blue killed everything in the back of red space. Very nicely done. It's 42 villagers for the Sicilian players. He's still trying to make knights. It's 88 villagers for green at the moment. And now blue shows up at yellow's base as well. And yellow, he's just not going to be able to defend himself. If purple is thinking about moving out, and purple is thinking about moving out, he's just going to run into a DC on stone. That means a castle will come up very soon. See if blue's going to respond to this. Blue. Alright, blue was preoccupied somewhere else. Did lose a few villagers, but does have a mangonel to defend himself here. As purple wants to do some counter damage. Blue still behind the woodline over there. Let's look at the mangonel. Purple very bunched up. Purple, be careful there. Blue even house walling here to funnel purple's units in the same space. But my god, our mangonel's slow. Right, a shot. Ooh, close. Okay, purple's gonna try to kill this mangonel now, and does take a giant shot to the middle of its line. Ooh, yeah. Skirmishers die very quickly to mangonels after on. As green is going to send in some knights to deal with that. In the meantime, Blue is trying to break into the Sicilian base, but can't because of the town centers that would kill too many of his crossbows. Does have 33 crossbows. That's enough to two-shot knights, and the GG is called. Yeah, was there any doubt about it? MP completely overwhelming and dominating AAOE for this game. I mean, like for me, I could have pointed that out earlier that it seemed pretty much GG for a while now, but honestly, I think that's the game spoke for itself. You know, most of the fights went in the favor for MP. It seemed like the teamwork and the uptimes for MP were just a little bit better. It started with Blue's aggression against Purple. Purple was not walled on this side. That's a bit of scouting issue well, a scouting mistake, one might even say, because this is such an easy wall up, such an easy way to force your opponent to go the other way and keep them away from your main gold. This way, Blue and Green could walk straight into the main gold for Purple, and Purple, as a result, was already behind at that point. Lost 10 villagers in that raid because he simply couldn't keep up with the production. Blue, kept sending in more units and reinforcing that. Yellow then spent a whole lot of resources trying to keep Purple alive. As a result, his castle lead time was simply worse than the Persian player as well. Remember also, the Persians will get ahead of you because they make more villas and feudal age. Their town centers work faster, and of course, they go up to the next age faster as a result as well. Yeah, Green being ahead meant that he had more knights and more economy, and of course, Green boomed and boomed and boomed and boomed. Look at that, 98 villagers for Calege versus just 40 for Yellow. Yellow just simply couldn't afford it. Yellow had to make knights to match Green's number because Green was up first, and because Purple was already dying, and Red was about to die to this as well. But man, shout out to Blue again with that raid in the back of Red's base, while Teal and Teal, Red, Yellow, and Green were duking it out in the front of Red's base. Everyone was distracted by it. Everyone was looking over here, but the real fight was happening right there on the wood line, where ballistic crossbows got 21 kills. Yeah, that's not easy to come back from. Look at the kill count at this point, 126 versus 249. MP's looking strong, you guys. They're looking really strong. I mean, remember, MP are the reigning champions from last Virgo Cup as well, so from the category B. So, it's no surprise that they are looking strong. And AAOE, they're going to have to pull out the big guns in order to come back on their own home map. We'll go into that in a second, but first let's have a look at these statistics. Yeah, look at the KDs here, especially Blue taking a really good fight. Now, between Red and Teal, I must say the fights were rather even. Saracen player actually outperforming what I figured the 1v1 versus an Ethiopian player would look like. So Red did a great job there. Unfortunately, that also invited aggression from Green and from Teal and Blue at the same time. You basically put a target on your back because you're top scorer. So, yeah. And of course, Green, yeah, the KD for Green is pretty much even, but that's also because he sacrificed a lot of knights to kill Yellow's knights, which is always difficult to do. But yeah, if you look at military production overall, MP had the higher production, except Purple started producing at the end. But remember, half of that was Skirmisher, which doesn't really help you there a whole lot offensively. But especially in the economical department, that MP reigned supreme. Look at that. Even Teal, who was on the back foot, outboomed everyone on AOEB's team. And look at the difference between Green and Yellow. Like that's 10,000 resources. That's a lot of knights that you can make with that. And of course, going up the imp faster. It's, yeah. Going all in all in as the pocket is okay if you can get an early victory, but if you don't get that early victory, as we have, double bid axe at 27 minutes. Ooh, someone forget his upgrades. Well, in Purple's defense, he was very much under pressure very early on, so yeah. But yeah, like I said, going all in as the pocket, that works for short games, but longer games, you will get outspent because knights are expensive, very expensive. They were in medieval times, they still are. Fastest play today was Calege with 77 APM. And look at that eco APM as well. There you go, 23. Same with Blue, actually. Jeez. Yeah, so that means that the both Green and Blue were just like booming behind that aggression. So that's really impressive indeed. Alrighty. I forgot to update the scoreboard, but I have clicked it by now, so it's updated. Let me update the score here, which is 1-0 in favor for MP at the moment. There you go. Now we will go to the home map for AAOE B, which is Heartland. Yay! So I mean, I'm sad. Of course, I'm sad for AAOE for losing their first game. You know, that's not nice for them. But I do like the fact that I get to see Heartland now. So now you guys can win again. You guys can win, come back in the series, go for a reverse sweep. That's totally fine. We're all for it because I get to cast Heartland and I am happy. Alright, of course, AAOE are not out of the woods yet. They first need to get a victory here if they want to stay in the series, because this is an elimination stage. You lose this game, you will be out of the tournament. Oh boy, oh boy. Alright, so let's see if AAOE can clap back on their home map. Alrighty. Haha! Welcome to Heartland, a map we have not seen in forever, but there you have it. Heartland, Heartland, Heartland. Cool stuff. Now this map is kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. Let's talk about it after introducing our players. In red, we have Kermir playing as the Magyars. Ooh, Magyar flank. Now that is a surprise to me. That means lots of aggression on land as well, because Magyars are not going to fight for water, that's for sure. In the yellow, we have Italians for Luxor. They may fight for water, actually, so we'll see. Are actually likely to do so. In the purple, we have Pirata playing as the Portuguese. Alright, Portuguese can also fight for water, but I think, given purple's position, I don't think he can afford to do that. In the blue, we have Patrick playing as the Japanese. Alright. In the green, we've got Kalika van Boedo playing as the Teutons. Oh, that's a surprise. I thought Teutons would be for not Socotra, but I guess Teutons for this match. Alright, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. In the teal, we have Lochav playing as the Malay. Alright. Unfortunately for both teams, the way that these teams spawned means that it's really difficult to get your walls up and to keep your map walled. And I'll tell you exactly why. For one, we have a giant bean-shaped lake in the middle of an oval-shaped lake, I should say, in the middle of the map. There's plenty of fish in there, not game-ending amount of fish, but 16,000 food is still a lot of fish to fight over. Also, because this lake is pretty compressed, the fish is close together, so your fishing ships will be more efficient. This is nice. Compare that to Glaciar, where most of the fish, there's the same amount of fish, but it's a way bigger pond, right? Now, along the shore is 4 tiles of shallows. Why I say 4 tiles? Because that's important. That means that if you build a dock there, it doesn't actually block off these shallows on the other end of the dock. This means that you can never wall to the water, even with a dock. It's impossible. There's no place where you can do that. You know, you'd have to be very astute to find a place. Like maybe here it could fit, but I doubt it. I doubt it. You know, the map creators made sure, right? Made sure that wasn't possible. This basically means that this map is fairly open on one side, but what about the other side? Well, you probably already noticed this rock terrain over there. There is a terraced hill on either side of the map, as you can see on both sides. There's plenty of resources to go for, especially wood, which is kind of important, and extra gold and stone. But that rock terrain also, you cannot build on it, which means that you cannot wall this off. So now you can't wall to this side, and you can't wall to this side either. So even though this map looks like Oasis, it really isn't. That's why I say that this map is deceptively open. Especially since your wood lines are bound to run out as well. See this? See this? These are measly wood lines. They will run out. You're going to have to expand all the way out here soon. I think your second TC should probably be up on the rim here. Also to control enemy troop movements that might be sneaking around you from this side. Alright, well that is basically Heartland in a nutshell. You also have some shorefish actually. Like these little ponds here, you have some shorefish. They can actually be kind of annoying if you want to expand because you can't farm on those, can you? No, you have to farm around them, which is annoying. So, yeah, well, that's Heartland for you. A lot of teams ban this map, and a lot of teams are probably right in banning this map. This is a difficult map to play. It's not easy. You have to really coordinate with your team what you want to be doing here, because if you're going to fight over water, it's very difficult to keep your home base safe, and you might invite yourself to enemy raids. This is why Teal is most likely not going to dock here. Yeah, so Teal scouted red. He knows that red is here. He even took some buffaloes from red. So he knows that the Magyar player is right there. Now the Magyar player is not going to dock. He's not going to fight for water. The Magyar player is going to go aggressive on land with scouts. No doubt about it. That aggression will be coming in for Teal first. So Teal is going to prepare himself to fight on land as well. This makes sense. Now he can't match the scouts, but he can go for spearmen and archers and put pressure on red instead. Take the fight to him. Yellow, though, he will fight for water. Purple, Looks like he's going to go for land as well. I'm seeing a barracks come up, no dock, so yeah, that looks like land aggression for him. That means that it's going to be an awkward situation for blue, who will be going to water. At least I'm not seeing any barracks for now. He may still build a barracks though. Now, the only good wall off that you can have in Heartland is right here. So you wall to your dock around here and then to the edge of the map on this side. That's the best wall off that I can think of for blue. Although he's not going to do that. He's just going to play open. Same with the Magyar player, he could do the same thing, but again, the Magyar player is not going to dock. He's not going to wall either because he is expecting to go aggressive. You know, you can hide behind wooden walls like the Athenians did in the Battle of Salamis, or, well, that means ships, by the way, so that's actually also aggressive. Or you can hide behind a wall of aggression. Sometimes a fence is the best defense. Right, we have a man-at-arm rush coming in now for Teal. Teal wants to put pressure on Red before Red gets his scouts out. And Red is honestly kind of late with his uptime. 21 pop is a late uptime for the scouting player. Also, Red, did he lose his scout? How did he lose his scout? That's interesting. Oh yeah, remember, you have Portuguese on your team, so you actually get to see what your opponents, what your teammates see, so that's kind of nice. Problem is, Red not having a scout, hasn't even scouted Teal yet, so he doesn't know anything about what Teal is doing, and Teal's gonna walk right into his wood line, and the men-at-arms are here. Now, Red does respond to it right on time. Man-at-arm upgrade is not coming in just yet, but Red already kind of frazzled here as he's trying to defend himself against these men-at-arms coming into his wood line. Red's going to wall this up. The stable will go up, so at least some scout cavalry can come out with the Magyar attack bonus, which is... There's a hole. There's a hole. He can deny the wall. He can deny the stable. The stable. Oh, Red notices it as well. Get the wall up. No, man-at-arm upgrade is not in. Teal probably not going to get man-at-arms either because the militia took some damage. Stable is up though. I think you should get the man-at-arm upgrade. Get the man-at-arm upgrade and get Spearman out here as well. It will make it really difficult for the scout player to deal with this. Now, that is not going as planned for Red. I can tell you that much. Alright, we got men-at-arms coming in as well for Purple if he gets the upgrade, which, again, he's not. So, I guess we're just going to skip that upgrade on all fronts. That's totally fine. Now, of course, Spearman can't fight this. No. As Blue is going to switch into Archers because he knows that if Purple is making men-at-arms, he's making other stuff, he's not going to be on water, which means it will be a 1v1 on water for the time being. Blue also scouted that. So he is aware that he's threatened on land, not on water. At least that's with green and with yellow. Green is making fire galleys. Very good. Students. Honestly, I thought that the student player would actually be the one to go to water and not well, and someone else, but I guess not. Makes sense for the pocket to be on water here, which is why I thought Berbers would be the better shift pick. Was also in the map pool for MP-1, because Berbers are better on water than Teutons. They have faster moving ships, which helps you snipe your opponent's fishing economy fast and actually get away with it as well. Archer's out for the Japanese player to defend himself. Remember also that Japanese fish is tanky and of course takes fish fast, but not when your fish is getting sniped at the moment by yellow, as green sent his fire galley forward instead of dealing with these galleys. So a little bit of a miscommunication here for Blue. I think Blue didn't notice it yet either, so Blue's been pretty busy with dealing with this men-at-arm rush anyways. Alright, the scouts in the meantime have made it to Teal's gold and will maybe snipe a villager. No, won't get that vill. The scouts are fairly weak as well. Yep, it's still difficult to snipe vills with scouts, especially when spearmen are around to defend, as Teal is slowly walling up his base. Now, wood will be a problem eventually, but I guess with some spearmen you can protect your economy easy enough. Okay, Red is losing 2 scouts here, but we'll get a villager. No, we'll get the vill. Snipe it. Come on. Whoop. There you go. Nice. Loses his scout, but at least he gets 1 vill kill, right? I mean, it's a disgrace to the Magyar people if you only get 1 villager kill with your Magyar scout rush. Ay. Or no villager kills, I mean. That's not acceptable. Alright, Purple has an awkward base, and with that I mean all his golds are forward, so yep, right there. I think if you see that your gold is like that, and your opponent is pushing out with archers, I think you should tower that gold. Yeah, I think that should have been a tower that should have gone up for Purple already, as Purple is walling up the left, even though that's not going to help him too much. Alright, here's the answer to why the Teuton player did not make a lot of fire galleys. He has actually also made scouts. So there's scouts and archers here, and Purple's gonna have to defend himself 2v1. Now, Yellow did win water. He killed all the fishing ships, but I think AAOE, MP are not gonna care too much about that. They're just gonna switch into land aggression instead. Not that Teutons could really compete with Italians on water anyways. And now you got a lot of pop on water, which is basically doing nothing. Purple trying to drop a tower will not go up, and for the time being, Purple will not be able to make archers because he will run out of gold fairly soon here. Remember, scouts are here as well. Those spearmen will have no effect anymore because, well, archers for blue. And green and blue are looking to do some damage here to Purple. At the same time, we've got some archers going forward now for teal. They're accompanied by some spearmen, which means that red cannot engage here. And red does have 5 scouts. He's making more still. He's making skirms at home to defend himself, as you should do in a 1v1 as the scout rushing player. You use your scouts to attack, and oh, ay. Purple was trying to hide his villagers in the north to make sure that green did not find them, and these villagers were found by the scouts. 2 vills down already, while 1 scout is down as well. I think these scouts can probably clean up these villages as well. Ay. Bad times for Pirata. Now the tower does go up, so at least Purple can finally take his gold. Blue is still chasing the archers that Purple made. But yeah, Purple, look at that. Couldn't make any archers anymore because he couldn't afford it. What's going on this side? We have the scouts engaging against the archers, killing the spearmen using that extra Magyar bonus, which is that you get the attack upgrade for free, which allows you to kill spearmen fast. And Teal's archers are about to get completely destroyed here. Now, behind all of this, Teal has managed to get his walls up, but the wood will run out, as you can see. There's also holes everywhere, probably. So, yeah, Magyar scouts are on the prowl, but green is on the way to Castellate, blue is on the way to Castellate, so is yellow, who has been benefiting from fish. And yellow is not making anything on water anymore except fishing ships, as he should. He should just be making fish now and go for a fish. Boom, get ahead so he can help his teammates. Blue now scanning, he's scanning the surrounding area to look for Purple's army, but Purple's army is at home at the moment. It's only 6 archers at the moment too, instead of 16 archers for blue. Yay. Alright, here comes red. Now Teal's aware of this though. He's going to try to wall all of this up. There's still a hole. Ooh, it's so dangerous. These wood lines are so flimsy. They run out so fast. As soon as Teal makes it to Castellate, which he eventually will, he's probably going to drop a TC on a wood line somewhere. I would suggest a big one like this one. Or maybe in the middle of this wood line would be okay. You know, or I suggest that this wood line would be fine as well. I wouldn't TC forward. That would probably be too risky. Now, Magyar scouts can't do damage in Teal's base, so they're going to go forward to Green's base. But knights are here, and remember, these are Teuton knights, which have a lot of melee armor. Now, the Magyar scouts do find some villagers on the gold, get 1 vill kill, but Magyar scouts have not done enough, I'd say. It's only 2 villager kills. It's just not enough to justify this many scouts. And look at that. The Castellate's time for red will be fairly late, because scouts are still expensive, even with Magyars. In the meantime, we have archer ranges going down for blue, which is fairly awkward because he does want to produce from these as well. But blue does have a bunch of crossbows going forward. Blue says, yo, I'm here. They're not crossbows yet. Can he evade yellow, though? No, can't. Yellow has spotted him. Ooh. Good for yellow to pay attention. Let's see what the micro from blue is like. Yellow does not have the +2 just yet. Upgrades are in for blue. Let's see what the micro looks like. Micro is good, but yellow bringing in more knights, waiting for the upgrades. As soon as he gets +2, he can pounce on this army and kill it. Red still being chased away by a knight and a spearman, as Teal has clicked up as well. I mean, is up. You know, I saw him click up a second ago, but then I forgot. Oh, right, it's melee. They are up very fast. Alright. Yeah, Blue's army will get cleaned up, so no sneaky attack this time. Although, gets cleaned up. Yeah, I mean, 1 knight should be able to kill this. They're fairly weak as well. There you go. And most of these crossbows were weak, so the knight will eventually clean this up. There you go. Magyar scouts still roaming around Teal's base. If Teal sends out villagers now to try to expand, he's going to take some serious losses. As we have red now noticing these straggler crossbows. Teal has 15 crossbows. They're actually going forward at the moment. And let's see what red's going to do. He's going to take out the reinforcements. But he cannot stop these crossbows that are moving their way to red space. With just skirmishers with no armor upgrades, you're not going to be able to stop that. And red didn't want to invest in that because, well, it's not worth it. He's going cavalry. But that also means they can't fight crossbows. You know, I mean, they already can't, but definitely not now. Alright, red in the meantime expanding forward, expanding towards the other side of the map to take map control, not get stuck in a corner. This is fine. Red also finds himself behind 2 walls now. You could just walk right around that, although that is very risky. Walking around a dog, I think most players would be scared to do that. We have red's woodline now invaded by the crossbows. Those scouts cannot find the crossbows at the moment. Maybe if the light cap with upgrades, maybe. But for now, no. Alright, yellow with the better economy, well, at least the better economy of his team, but still not the better economy than the Teuton player. The Teuton player is on multiple TCs, booming like a crazy madman, like he was last game. And remember, Teutons are boomers. I mean, at least Teutons, if you're going to restrict yourself to land, at least you can keep up with your opponent going for fish. As yellow with more knights on the field right now than green is taking a good fight against blue and green there. Yeah, the army for MP will get cleared up, and AAOE is still fine. They're still fine. They have water. They're still fine on the right-hand side. The only danger side is is red, but red also cleaning up Teal's archers. I think we have ourselves a game. Teal also taking sneaky wood down there. Chances that Teal will find that is fairly low because, you know, he doesn't have the mobile unit. Whereas if Teal tried to do that, red would probably find him. Teal dropped the TC on this forward wood line. It's still a flimsy wood line, I think. If you go to a wood line like, I think this would be a nice TC spot for wood. Or maybe in between the gold and the wood line, that would be nice as well. And if these trees had more wood on them, you know, like 200 wood, this would be a lot less less forgiving, you know. Unforgiving, I mean. Alright, Teal as a result. Oh, also forgot the wood upgrade. Well, I mean, I guess that helps you as well because your wood lines don't run out as fast. As the Magyar Knights are here, they see the crossbows. There's not a whole lot of them, and Teal is a little bit under siege right now. Is this the way back for double AOE? Now they have 1 water. They are winning some engagements on the left. How about the right-hand side? Aye. Yeah, like I said, sneaky wood lines might work if you're up against a crossbow player, but the knight player is likely to find your wood line, and green didn't know it was here. As a result, purple still losing a lot of vills. Purple is at 38 vills, has 22 crossbows at the moment, but he best not lose these, because if he loses those, they're not going to be able to push on this side, which is a problem, because that was the whole plan, after all. Blue is at 57 villagers, so far ahead of purple. It's 59 vills for yellow, 79 for green. Green's a boomer. 49 for teal, so teal's mostly just going to defend here. Teal probably knows his position. He will have to defend himself. He's making monks at the moment to convert some of these knights and lessen the Magyar horde, because they're fully upgraded knights too. Very dangerous to deal with. Alright, now, if Teal can keep the knights out, this may also invite the knights to hit green in the back, which is not good, because green needs to keep his army on the right to do damage there. Green is actually hitting yellow at the moment, which is why red might be prompted to go for green as well. Though red into the melee base, doing some damage there, and yeah, the melee player is not going to be happy here. How do you keep all of that walled out? Good luck. As a few conversions may come in, 1 conversion does come in, and there you have it. The strongest knight that the melee player will ever have, because it has bloodlines. Mangonel gets... Wait, where did it happen to Purple's army? Purple's army is fine. Blue's army killing most of Yellow's armies. Yellow's just raining around a little bit. But Blue has the villagers to spare, that's for sure. Purple's army is in the south, hitting the stone though. Ooh, there go your stone miners. Blue reacting to it now, but cannot stop Purple from killing at least 1 more villager. And maybe even a second? No. There's no ballistics. In the meantime, Teal is getting overrun by red, and this is not looking good for MP, is it? It's not looking good for MP whatsoever. I mean, they are ahead in villager count, but look at that military count. It's just not... I mean, yeah, build count is nice and booming is good, but hold on a second. Purple though, having his crossbows overstaying their welcome because yellow did not have more knights over here, and as a result, green gets to clean this up. Green does have 17 knights. Remember, they are Teuton knights, so every knight that green makes is stronger than the knight that the Italian player makes, and the Italians do not get paladin. So the longer this game goes, the better it is for the Teuton player. Teal's had enough of the rage. Is going to drop a castle now on the north, but that castle doesn't really protect that much. I would like that castle more on, say, on a wood line on this side or in front of your ranges to protect that. Green will drop a castle now in the south to secure this gold and the wood down there, which is fine. And blue dropping a forward castle right on purple's face, and there's nothing that purple can do about it. Now, there's a lot of army here as well, so purple has 12 crossbows, and again, 52 villages, so purple is trying to reboom here, but he's still far behind blue. Well, far behind. 8 villages, it's not the worst. As, the Magyar Knights fight the castle, but the castle just in time to go up. And remember, Teutons get murder holes for free, so that castle can hit those knights even if they get within the minimum range, which there is none of that. In the meantime, knights for yellow are raiding all over the place and Teal taking more losses. And Teal is at 34 villages at the moment. Not in a good position whatsoever. Malay struggle against early aggression like that as he does get a nice conversion. Go. At the same time, purple also struggling on his side. But yellow is here with some knights. There's 19 knights in the field for yellow, but 25 for green. And those knight numbers are starting to be scary. Blue is pointing out that green has some idle knights right there, as blue still is fighting against yellow. Purple's not really in this engagement, so as a result, the engagement is still okay for blue and green, but they need to fight really hard here because green simply does not have the knight numbers here. Those knights were in the back of blue's base, not helping. As blue has thumb ring, trying to kill as many knights as he can, and my god, so many knights going to go down here. At the end of the day, I think blue's army will get cleared of. He's still microing, and knight patting is still as bad as it was before. Yeah, that army will get cleared up. Red tried to attack the castle that's being dropped on the Teuton farms, but that castle will go up as green is sending some knights in to deal with that. Remember, again, more armor on these knights, so they are stronger than Magyar knights. Purple now going to go for a counter castle to at least stave off aggression from green and blue through this corridor, but honestly, I don't know if that's a great castle. The problem is that purple doesn't have any gold. He's going to have to take gold somewhere else, which is right there. So maybe a castle over here to protect that extra economy would have been a bit better. Because this castle doesn't really... Like, think about it, right? I mean, like, your DC is already protecting this corridor already. If blue comes forward with siege, right, then this castle is not going to help you. Also, if blue's on the way to Imperial Age, then this castle will just get trapped down, right, because it's right underneath blue's castle as well. So I just don't know. Now, of course, purple can't know that blue is on the way to Imp. Purple is trying to get to Imp himself. That's why he wanted to drop a castle for the building requirement. Unfortunately, blue is already almost there, 1 minute and 40 seconds away, whereas purple still has 3 minutes on the clock. In the meantime, green on the way to Imp as well, before yellow. Despite yellow having fish, and yeah, yellow, he added some fishing ships, but only 11 is not going to compete with the Teuton farms, that is for sure. As red once more hitting the farms for the Malay player, making sure that the Malay player knows his place. Darn you peasants! Die to the sword. And the Eco KD is now worthy of the Magyar name. 45 villager kills. Teal, who has actually been booming on multiple TCs, has lost 54. He would have had 90 villages at this point. Yeah, not anymore. Not anymore. Green and blue are still laying siege to purple, and the score is so close. The score is so close. The vill count is in favor for MP, but the military count is in favor for AAOE. Oh boy, oh boy. Green now dropping a castle on the shoreline. Ooh, interesting. Not a whole lot to bombard here from the shoreline, so I'm not sure what that castle is for, unless green wants to go back to water, which is, that would be quite something, huh? Green now, yeah, cannot compete. I mean, green's knights are armored, but they can't compete with this many Magyar knights. There's simply too many of them. 26 And still no effective resistance from the melee player, who is just booming and basically being a punching bag for his team. Buying time for the team on the other side to get a trebuchet out in front of the castle, which will get ranged by this castle. So yeah, let's bring that outside the range, and now we can drop it. There you go. Arbalest is in for blue, and purple will not be able to compete with them until he gets his upgrades himself. As a result, green finds a DC and says, hey, that's a nice DC. And imagine if you had a castle nicely on this hill. It would be much more difficult for blue to trap down, as purple is now already behind in the trap war. Purple getting his upgrades, Bracer and Arbalest coming in as yellow and purple are marching towards the town center, but will they be in time? Purple ejecting the villagers before the town center goes down, and green didn't realize that, so the villagers do escape. Alright, here we have a fight. Purple and blue both trying to take the hill, as green, knowing that these will be Arbalest soon, wanted to take a fight, but I think he should wait for his upgrades. Wait 10 seconds here before we take that fight. 10 seconds. Yellow still in the way to Imperialites. He cannot be anywhere near these Arbalest, but green, with the final armor crate and a Cavalier coming in as well, and extra melee armor, can certainly kill this. At the same time, the Magyar player denying ATC, and poor deal. 51 vills still, and no army to speak of. With green as a relieving force, though, will be able to push this army back for the time being as red clicks up the imp. This game is a lot closer than it was last time. Like last game, MP was totally dominant, but this game is up for grabs still. AAOE are behind in economy, but they still have a military lead. But this only depends on whether purple can hold the front or not. Purple has made it to Imperial Age though, with 67 villagers, so still in good-ish shape. Still trying to keep his castle up as well, as is blue. But I think with one more shot, the blue castle will eventually go down. Especially as the trebuchet for blue has been eliminated. And there you go, the castle goes down. Yeah, purple keeps his castle up, and now that castle is fine. Alright, blue versus purple. Purple has the cheaper archer, so that's easier for him to reinforce than for blue. But blue does have the better economy, so it shouldn't matter all that much. As blue's just going to drop another castle right next to where his former castle went down. Crazy. In the meantime, the Cavalier taking the fight against the Magyar Knights before the Magyar can get Magyar player can get upgrades. But yeah, even those tanky Teuton Knights can't kill this many. Magyar Knights. No. Meantime, red's going to drop a sneaky castle right in the middle of Teal's economy, but I think the green see that. Green can see it now. It's right inside of the line of sight. Let's see if green spots it. Green, you have an army there to deny it. Green. Yeah, he spotted it. Nice. Teal spotted it, actually. And there you have it. As green sends in the Cavalier. That will be a doubt castle, probably. Unless red stops it. Red tries to go for a house, but the Cavalier get in, and it is a doubt castle for sure. Unless somehow red gets the wall in one ville, but yeah, Teal also building a tower. He will be able to deny this for the time being. Yeah, 79%. Nope, that is not going to go up. And now the red sacrificing like 15 villagers to do this. His economy is going to be significantly worse than the Teuton players, who is getting Paladin right now, a unit that only the Magyar player could compete with. At the same time, we have a fight in the north, as the Italian Cavalier are taking a fight right now against the Teuton Cavalier before they are Paladin, before they are too strong to deal with. Yeah, because green has to split up his forces, he can't have all his Cavalier on the same side, which leaves blue on his own right now, fighting a battle, well, an uphill battle. Well, actually, technically for him, it's a downhill battle, but he will probably lose these Arbalests, which does save purple for the time being. But on the left-hand side, as red is sending in some knights to save his castle. Is he going to send more vills? He is sending more villagers, but there's a TC there. That's very awkward for the vills to walk through. And remember, the Paladin will be in 30 seconds. Red cannot fight this because he does not have the Cavalier upgrade just yet. But even if he does get it, Paladin will be in as well. Remember, Cavalier are also hitting red where it hurts, right in his economy. There's only 25 knights, and those were trying to get that castle up. A castle that I don't think will ever go up. And now it's Paladin, and what do you do against Paladin? What does AAOE do against Paladin? Yellow can't make Paladin, and red is not going to be able to afford Paladin. We are in trouble. Houston, trouble. As blue either lost that castle or is dropping another one. Just stubborn. He wants to get a castle up over here, darn it. As now yellow is here as well, but my god. Look how strong these paladins are right now. 7 melee armor. They take little damage from the Cavalier, which do 16 damage, but about half of that is negated by the armor for the Teuton player. Now, again, sheer numbers is what is saving red and yellow at the moment. Red is at 60 villagers from 2 town centers. He's not going to be able to afford to make paladin himself. I think he's trying to save up for that. No, there's no way. There's no way. Red doesn't have any resources. He can't even make knights right now. Red's economy is just too bad to compete with this. And this is giving Teal a lot of time to go up to Imp, get his eco tags, and get some crossbows and arbalest out. At the same time, Purple, he's just trying to trap his castle down, but he cannot move out, not without Yellow's support, especially not with Teuton Paladins just sitting right around the corner. Castle from Red has been walled in, so that will probably never go up. Yeah, that's a proud Red castle. Teal also dropping a castle in the front as Red wants to deny that, and it probably will be denied for the time being because Teal again did not make any army to support this. So yeah, Teal will have to ask for help first from Green. Once again, who will have to send military to the left as Green has been playing like a beast. 153 villagers, by the way. That's crazy. Crazy boom as we have a fight on the right hand side. Alright. The Paladin going after the trebuchet. Here we have a ram coming forward as well to tank some of the fire from Purple's units. We also have some trebuchets now trying to hit the castle once more to take it down. Green can't get here though, it's too fortified, but Green can certainly run into Purple's base and do some real damage here. There's 37 Paladin on the field and that number may go up as the game goes on. We have Kataparuto coming in now for the Japanese player. An expensive tech that makes your trebuchets fire faster and also makes them pack up, you know, with rapid speed, which is kind of nice, isn't it? Alright, that ram tanking a lot of damage here as Blue is trying to take out the trebuchets for Purple. Gets that shot though, and at the same time, there you go. Purple now will not be able to lay siege to Blue's castle, whereas Blue can still return the favor. Cavalier still hitting on this side as Purple. Red, he wants to get that tower up, but unfortunately there's just no way. There's a tower here denying that, so the villagers can't get in. Nope, it is walled off as Teal should have done. Because if he hadn't done that, that castle would have gone up now. Because Red was determined to get it up. Red has 1 Paladin. It's a Teuton Paladin he converted. So it's the most armored unit that the Magyar player will ever have. Economy now is very much ahead for MP, and also the military count is starting to diverge. And this is the thing. Having more economy doesn't immediately mean that you win the game, but the longer that the game goes, the more resources that economy starts to bank up. And with all those resources, you can make a lot of Paladin. Okay, Yellow now going for a raid in the Teuton base, but Green is reacting to that with his own Paladin. And Paladins simply are the much stronger unit. As Red is going to drop another castle now to try to get this up. But oh boy, Pikeman now for the melee player. And Pikeman, though outnumbered, can still deny this castle and kill a lot of Cavalier here. But maybe not a whole lot. These are still Cavalier, the Magyar Cavalier as well. The Magyar player, is he trying to bank up goals for the Paladin upgrade here? Because he needs something to match the Teuton player. Because no one can match what the Teuton player is doing at the moment. As Red is desperately trying to get this castle up. It's another down castle. You gotta be kidding me, right? You gotta be kidding me. Red, stop it with these freaking down castles. Just drop a castle at home and to protect your base, for God's sake. Ay. Yellow now with a castle that is immediately under siege. He's also making January's Expoman, which would be a great unit against the Paladins. The problem is, it invites skirmishers from the Japanese player. Yeah, Japanese player also getting Yasuma and guard towers, so probably wants to build some towers. Yeah, build some towers here to deny gold, to deny position. Bomber cannons now for the Portuguese player. Bomber cannons are of course a nice unit to go for. As Halberdier is now in for the melee player, who's just gonna go full health because he knows that's all that Red is making. Why would you need Arbalest if you can make Halberdier? As Halberdier will swing this battle in the favor for Green and for Teal. Will the castle go up though? The castle goes up. Wow, finally Red finishes a castle that is not a Dow castle. Now he can make petards and maybe get this castle up as well. Not sure if it's worth it though, because Purple is fast losing his base. Purple down to 60 villagers now. Ay. The Teuton Paladins are in. Purple has no army to speak of at the moment. 12 Arbalists in the queue, but no army at the moment. And this means that Blue and Green will be able to push right into the heart of AAOE's base. Purple holding was a prerequisite for Red being able to push on his side, but Red unfortunately squandered a lot of his economy on trying to get these freaking castles up. Castles that, yeah, would maybe hurt Teal's economy a little bit, but honestly, the damage that was done to Red's economy trying to get that up was more than that castle could ever have done to Teal's economy. The army count for our AAOE is just not looking healthy anymore. We have some panic castles now going up on the side just to stall this out a little bit further. As more Japanese Yasamakibs are going up, I don't think that that castle will ever go up. And is this maybe the moment where a AAOE decides that we can't win this game anymore? There's just no way. There's no way to hold the Teuton Paladins. The Japanese are blessed. Castles are not going to do it. There you have it. Yep, that's what I thought. The GG called by AAOE. They recognize that they have been bested on their home map, and MP takes the second game also. GG! Alright, I mean, even though AAOE lost 2-0, I think they can be proud of especially the performance in this game, because this was a very competitive Heartland game. I love this game, you know? I mean, at the start it looked a little bit dicey, especially for Purple, because he didn't tower his gold, which set him back quite a bit. And Red Scout Rush didn't really do a whole lot. But as the game progressed, AAOE got the military out and started playing very aggressively. Especially Teal lost a lot of economy. 90 villagers. 90 villagers. 38 villas lost by green, 31 by blue. So they definitely took a lot of losses this game around. But I mean, Purple lost 98 villagers. Now remember, that also is the last, you know, that last little push right here when the tide broke, when the dam broke. I mean, or when the levee breaks. Good song. You know, so those last 20 kills don't really count, you know, but Purple certainly took losses as the game progressed. So did Yellow, and so did Red, by the way. Although most of Red's losses were kind of self-inflicted. I mean, he sent 25 villagers down here to get these freaking castles up. He got one castle up, which barely did anything. And this castle, again, yeah, it would have denied some of Teal's economy, that's true. But again, Red did more damage to his own economy trying to get this down castle up, rather than the damage that this castle would ever do to Teal, because he just relocate, right? I think instead of going for a castle like that, drop castles at home to defend yourself against Teal's forward push, and get Paladin, because that is something that they sorely needed. They needed Paladin to deal with the Paladins for the Teuton player, because no one could deal with this. No one. I mean, the Italian player, if you could get a lot of Genoese Expos out, maybe, but that switch takes some time. It takes a long time. By the time you do that, Purple was dead. Oh boy. Let's have a look at these statisticals. Yeah, there you go. The KD for blue, very good. Got a lot of kills with his Arbalest. The KD for green, pretty good as well. But he did lose a lot of units himself trying to put out fires all across the map. Like I said, this was a very competitive game. Very competitive game indeed. Yeah, KD for yellow was pretty good for the raids. Of course, the KD for red was fairly good, as he got a lot of vill kills on his side. Purple, of course, was the punching bag for his team, as was Teal, both of them making less army than anyone else, although Purple did a better job at that, trying to keep the walls up and defend themselves. Economy-wise, yeah, green, again, outbooming everyone, but this time yellow was a lot closer with his own boom. But you can tell between purple and red were pretty much always behind to teal and blue, as both players did try to boom a whole lot, and especially, you know, Patrick got a nice boom going as well. And that's been kind of the signature for MP, you know, they managed to get a lot of military out as well, but they have such a crazy boom behind that, especially green outbooms everyone, right? Which, again, if you can overwhelm MP with early aggression, with a lot of all-in aggression, you may be able to counter that strategy. But the problem is, the longer the game goes, the better it gets for the boomers. And just to drive that point home, look at the boom. Bam! 157 villager max. A lot of villagers. A lot of villagers. It's not like purple and yellow went for an insane fish boom here. Not a whole lot, actually. So this is why I say that Heartland, though it is a hybrid map, just because you have fish doesn't mean you win the game immediately, clearly, right? It's not game ending. It certainly helps you get a better uptime. But as you can see, the Italian player, because he had to make so many knights, his uptime was kind of late. Much later than the Teuton player. Alright, last but not least, who was the fastest player? It was green and, well, I guess blue, kind of sharing that crown here. Closely followed by purple, though. Very nice. Alrighty then, I'd like to say congratulations to MP-1 for winning their set and moving on to the semi-finals. Oh boy. And then, of course, good luck next tournament for AAOE. They played like a beast, and they can be proud of their performance. GG!